10 days away from Christmas. This is day 3 of the 12 days of whiskey. And today I have Barrell Bourbon's batch 35. I don't know what I'm doing with my hands. I'm a little hyper today. So let's get this going. Today I have Barrell Bourbon's batch 35. This was recommended to me by our friend John. He can't stop talking about this bourbon. And today I ended up reaching. I went to go buy this bottle and I had it today for the first time ever. I called another audible. We're 3 days into this series and I've already called 2 audibles. So here is Barrell Bourbon's batch 35, a blend of whiskeys coming out of Indiana, Tennessee, and Kentucky. The Indiana portion is 6, 7, and 8 years old. The Tennessee portion, which we could assume is Dickel, is 7 and 13 years old. And the Kentucky bourbon, which is assumed Barton, is 8 years old. The Indiana, obviously, Midwest Grain Products, MGP, known as Ross and Squibb. I've talked about them a bunch. What's interesting about this is Barrell Bourbon has been blending. I mean, they've made their name as master blenders. They do some really interesting thing by sourcing barrels from all over the world and really fine-tuning and sometimes, like in this case, taking some, like a small part of some parts and making it into something bigger. Because if you told me, a regular 6, 7, and 8 year old MGP, some Dickel, and some Barton, all of those things separate is just an okay meh. Sometimes, I mean, I don't like Dickel at all. Barrell Bourbon or Barrell Craft Spirits are one of the only ones that really know what to do with the George Dickel product. The other one being Bardstown. And Bardstown, even then, sometimes the Dickel can overpower a lot of their stuff. So credit to Barrell Craft Spirits. They've been doing it for a long time. Last year, I reviewed the Barrell Seagrass, which won a bunch of awards 2 years ago. I love this bottle. I'm a big fan of the Vantage, the Dovetail. Their New Year's blend the last couple years has been really good. And just in general, they've been killing it. Even their Stellum line, which is like their lower line. Some Stellum single barrels or some Stellum picks are awesome. I've had 2 Stellum Lyra picks that have been lights out. So credit where credit is due, and credit to John for telling me about this bottle months ago. And I'm like, yeah, I'm sure it's fine. And then finally today, I'm like, let's pick it up. Let's see what it's about. And it's about that thing. It's about that life. So let's get into it. The nose right away. I text him. It's like a fruit salad, fruit party, fruit ninja, Fruity Pebbles, not Fruity Pebbles of cereal. I'm just talking fruits. Yeah, plums. And you know what? If you open a bag of the Lifesavers gummies, that's what I got out of this. Really interesting. Apparently, a lot of the MGP or Ross and Squibb Indiana portion of this blend is a blend of bourbon that is 99% corn and 1% malted barley, which is used specifically and mostly and only for blending. So you get a little bit of like that corn aspect to it, but it really lets like the other things shine. The Barton and the Dickel, which is shocking. Like I said, I'm not a Dickel fan, but in this situation, it's all working together. Obviously, it's a blend. It's all blending perfectly. The palate, the fruits really translates from the nose to the taste, like dates and raisins. I got a bunch of plum. And then the finish is like all black pepper and baking spices and everything nice and gets you nice and warm. Really, really good, really interesting. I should have mentioned it is 117.5 proof. So you get a little bit of that Kentucky hug, or in this case, Tennessee and Kentucky and Indiana hug. I'm making noises now. ASMR. Yeah, it's interesting. You know what I think? It's different. So it's different because it has a lot of like rum tendencies. It's almost like a rum disguised as a bourbon. It's like that Vince McMahon gif of like it was me all along. You think it's a bourbon, and no, it's got a lot of rum. It's got a lot of rum action to it. But obviously, it's still a blend of bourbon. It's still a really good bourbon whiskey, but it's got some rum tendencies. It's really interesting. Bottle I was able to find for $80. They've been sitting. This won a bunch of awards. I know it's got the San Francisco World Spirits Competition gold sticker right on there. You could see it right there. It also was in a lot of year-end. I mean, everyone's making, year-end lists. It was in a bunch of those, but they still sit. So this is a bottle it's fairly available. It's readily available. A lot of times, like I mentioned in earlier videos, like you're looking for this, the rare and allocated. There's a lot of bottles that are sitting right there on the shelves for everyone to try that are just as good as the stuff that's hidden in a back room or hidden under a desk or hidden that you can't find. So this is one of them. I highly recommend it. And I'm glad I called that audible. I'm glad John recommended it to me, and I'm glad I had it today because I, again, had a different list of whiskeys I was going to show for you guys. And I'm like, you know what? This is interesting and different. And I want to talk about it. So that's what we did. All right. Before I let you guys go, I'm going to do a little bit of business here, and then we'll cheers and let you go.
Are you tired of getting the same old bourbon sitting on the shelf? Looking for something to impress your bourbon friends with? Then head over to Greene Valley Wine and Spirits in Bolingbrook and grab one of our single barrel bourbon bum store picks. We've got a 9-year Knob Creek bourbon, an 8-year Knob Creek rye whiskey, and our ever popular NULU toasted wheated. That's right, toasted wheated. So head out to Greene Valley Wine and Spirits or message one of the bums. But hurry, because once these bottles go, they're gone forever. Become a bourbon bum today.
Become a bourbon bum today. Why not? It's worth a shot. Cheers, guys. We'll see you tomorrow for the day 4 of the 12 Days of Whiskey.